All right, cool. So I'm super excited for you guys being here. Many of you guys have done a 90-day challenge with us before, and many of you, this is your first time with us. And the reason why I'm excited because I know what's possible for you. I know what you can achieve if you just even do this minimally for the 90 days. And so that gets me excited because there's nothing I love more than helping people accomplish their goals. Here's the other piece of all this. There's two things. Best you is large and bold in this whole thing, because what's really important about you sitting here is that what the best version of you that you want. What I'm not interested in is like you trying to be the best her, or you trying to be the best him, or you trying to be the best fitness model that you found on Instagram, or trying to be the best your favorite professional athlete. What I'm mostly interested in is helping you to be the best version of what you were designed to be and what you want to be, right? So don't get so caught up in all these other things that are outside of yourself and possibly not even possible for you, right? Based on who you are and what you're capable of, right? So that's the other piece. And the other piece is like, I wish I could make, like, I maybe start making the word you a different color or something like that, because whatever led you to being here today, whatever it is that you've assessed as your obstacles, whatever it is that you've assessed as your successes, you created all of that, right? You're showing up here today with your own limiting beliefs. You're showing up here with your own, what you consider yourself to be strong at. And the truth is those are just stories that you tell yourself about events that have happened in your past, right? And what I want to empower you with is that you can create this challenge to be anything that you want it to be. I promise you that you might be sitting here saying, I'm not a morning person, or I can't meal prep, or whatever it is, and all of that is just a belief that you've told yourself that isn't true, it's a lie, right? So I want you to have an open mind to what I'm about to try and get you guys to do for this challenge, and it's gonna be very rewarding, I promise, if you see it through. So the whole thing, I was doing the math the other day. I think I've worked with tens of thousands of clients at this point. In my 20-year career, if I'm doing my math correctly, tens of thousands of people, right? And so I've learned a lot of things over that period of time. And what it all comes down to is what you do on a daily basis. What you're willing to show up and do on a daily basis. Like what your goals are, what your physical capacity is, what your genetics are, and all that other stuff is a part of the equation. But this whole challenge of what's going to get you the best success is what are you willing to wake up every single day and do, and what are you also not willing to do, right? You have to say yes to certain things and no to other things. So this is what it's all about. And I'm going to take people out and I'm going to say, you do not decide your future. You decide your habits, and your habits decide your future. Okay, so what I want you to think about is what habits are you going to take on for these 90 days that are going to decide the results that you get. So what you can expect to get out of this, challenge is in this order exactly. You will improve your habits. It's just, if you participate on any level, your habits are going to improve. Then the next one down, and this happens in order, your performance will improve. And not just your performance in here in the gym, but your performance in life. Everything that you're going to be doing as a part of your physical activity, your nutrition, your mindful meditation, all of that stuff is going to make you better at every single thing you do. So you will perform better in every aspect of your life. And through that performance, your actions, performance is actions, right? So through your actions, you'll make improvements in other areas, like in the gym, your body composition. Many of you guys are sitting here because you want to lose a couple pounds, or you want to lose a couple inches, or you want to gain a couple inches of muscle, or whatever it is, right? And all that's going to happen, but it will not happen if you get so caught up on the end game, like on those 10 pounds. What you have to get caught up on is the very first stage, and that's the habits. So get your mind right on that stuff. Okay, so I'm going to talk through that a little more. But what is expected of you? This is, again, when I talked about the best you, and this is all of this responsibility is on you. If you're expecting me to somehow come and do all this for you, or if you're expecting this to be done for you, you're in the wrong place, right? You have to be willing to roll up your sleeves, do the work, and so with that comes some expectation. What you do specifically, I don't really care about. honestly, like I will work with you on any of your goals or whatever you expect of yourself, but you need to prioritize what matters to you. I'm going to talk to you about a whole bunch of different habits. Maybe a good half of those aren't what you care about, right? So don't get so wrapped up on how well you do those habits, because that's going to create defeat during these 90 days. So prioritize what matters to you and what's going to effectively change your goals. I want you to be open to change, because like I talked about a second ago, you are your own limiter. You are the only person who's holding yourself back. You are the obstacle. And so the only way to achieve something that maybe you haven't achieved before, or you haven't achieved in a long time, is to be open to doing something a little differently than you have been doing. Okay, so I need you to have that open mind. Take extreme ownership of all this. Like I said, I'm not going to do this for you. I will help you. I will support you. I will hug you. I will push you. I will do whatever I need to do to move you forward, but I can't do the work. So I need you to take extreme ownership of every single thing you do every single day. And if you lay your head on your pillow at the end of the day and you didn't do what you set out to, it's on you, right? That you have to take ownership of that piece, right? Whatever you do during this challenge, my primary effort, now you can disregard this part if you want, but I say this every single time. I am not interested in you doing anything that is so extreme and so over the top that gets you amazing results. Even if you got these fantastic results at the end of these 90 days, if at the end of the 90 days you can't do it anymore. You're so tired from doing it. It's been so strenuous on you that you like have to put it down and get away from it for a while. I will consider that a failure. I will consider that something that, because I've seen it, again, I've tens of thousands of clients. I've seen people get crazy results, like unbelievable, almost impossible results. And then you can be really excited about that. And then I look at them 6 months later and they've completely lost all of it because they couldn't keep it going. So however you approach these 90 days, I want you to approach it with sustainability in mind. What am I willing to do what can I adopt from this that I'm willing to do every single day, not for the next 6 months, but for the next 6 years, for the next 6 decades? What am I willing to do every single day? Because consistency is what works. So I want you to approach this with the mindset of consistency. I need you to be committed. I need you to be focused. Obviously, you're not going to be able to do any of this if you're not doing the work. So I need you to be, I expect you to be committed and focused. I expect you to do the mental part of this, the planning and the preparation. It's not all just physical work or action work. A lot of it's like, getting a piece of paper and figure out, when am I going to do my workouts? What am I going to do for my weekly meals? It's a lot of preparation. And when you don't know how to do all that, I expect you to be resourceful. I am here for you. I am giving of myself for you and whatever I know. And I'm also giving you access to my resources. Like, I don't know everything, clearly. There's plenty of things that you're going to come to me and I'm like, man, I don't know. But what I can promise you is that I will get you in touch with somebody who does know, or I will do the research to figure out the answer to your question. But you have to be resourceful. The people who don't make it through this challenge, the people who don't make it through these, the people who hit a roadblock and then they don't ask for help. They don't do what they need to do to kind of get over that roadblock. So I expect you to ask a lot of questions, to use me up. I'm giving you full access to me. I'm giving you full access to my staff and my effort. Right? So be resourceful. I expect you to persevere. I expect you to adopt the model of imperfect progress. I want you to let go, and again, some of you guys, you've been through these challenges, so you've heard this before, but the people who don't make it through these challenges are who? You guys have been in, what is it? The perfectionists. Right? You want to do it so perfectly, and you want to do it you want to get an A+ on every single habit, on every single day. And I promise you, going back to the sustainable piece, perfection is not possible. There is no way, there is no grade, there's no A, there's no 100%, there's no perfect, but you're going to create some sort of version of perfection in your mind, and when you can't live up to that impossible version of perfection, you're going to quit. So I want you to adopt this idea of, I'm going to be the Rocky Balboa of the 90-day challenge. I'm going to take my lumps. I'm going to get knocked out on maybe a daily basis, a round basis, and I'm just going to keep getting back up, and I'm going to keep marching forward, because that is what will get you the best results here. Perfection is not only not necessary, it's not possible, and it will get guaranteed failure. in this challenge. So have perseverance, accept imperfect progress, and it's the painful part of all this for me is that although I've said all this, and although you probably understand this right now as you're sitting here, 50% of you guys aren't going to finish the challenge. And that's not me knocking you down. That's not me but the facts are, the data shows every single time about 50% or more of people don't finish. Okay? So all you have to do to be successful in this challenge is to just finish. However you finish, like follow through, do the retest, do your second scan, do the everything that come to the last part, whatever it is, because I promise you, the people who are going to do the best in this aren't going to be the most talented. They're not going to be the most genetically gifted. They're not going to be the most intelligent people. They're just going to be the people who finished. Right? Those are the people who are going to get the results. Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about here's what you can expect from me. And here, I'm going to sum this all up in one, like a statement. I will give you whatever you need. I will meet you halfway, I promise you. Anyone who knows me, anyone who's been working with me all this time knows that when you come halfway, I'm going to step right in that gap every time. But you start backing away, what you can expect from me also, I'm not going to chase you around. I'm not. I expect, now you take a half step forward. I'm going to take a half step forward with you. I'll take 5 steps forward when you take a half step forward. And you can expect that of me and my staff every single time. We will work with you. Okay, and you also know me, I have so much love for everybody sitting in this room. I may not have never met you a day in my life, and I am so full of love and compassion for you that you would not even believe it, right? You just won't believe that. And I will be here for you no matter what. I will never judge you. I will never talk badly about you. You tell me, Ethan, I fell off the wagon for a week and a half, and you will not get anything from me. Okay, what do we got to do? Let's make this happen. So you can expect that of me and my team, I promise you. I will be honest with you. I will not BS you. Who I am is a straight shooter. I will not lie to you and say you're doing a great job if you're not doing a great job. I will not tell you you did great on a workout if it wasn't, I'll just be honest with you, right? And you can expect that from me all the time, and it's all love. I would be not being very loving of you and not being very respectful of you if I lied to you about anything that was going on. So you can expect me to be honest with you, and you can also expect me to be honest with you about what needs to be done, right? Like if you have a challenge and I say, hey, I think you need to do this because this will work for you, you better believe that's what I believe. I wouldn't tell you to do something that I didn't believe was good for you and that I didn't think was going to be in your best interest. And I've been wrong before. You won't see anything up here about me saying that I know everything or I'm perfect or I know exactly what you need to do, because the truth is this is going to be all trial and error, and I'm going to do I'm going to recommend for you to do what I think you need to do, and I could be wrong, and I'll admit when I'm wrong. I will be honest when I'm wrong, because I think that's also the most respectful thing that I can do for you. And I already talked about you have full access to me and my team. So you can text me, you can call me, and again, if you've done this before, you know. You can text me on 9 p.m. on a Sunday night. Chances are I'm probably going to respond right then and there, but if not, it'll be first thing Monday morning. I will get back to you. I will respond. Okay? So in terms of like what is going to get you, like there is the top male and the top female in this challenge will win a prize. And the prize is 6 free months of unlimited training with us. Unlimited training. So that equates to over $1,000. It's like, I don't know, $1,200, $1,300 of membership with us. So that's not nothing, right? If you're the person who and this is okay, if you're extrinsically motivated, you need a carrot, you need something to work towards, here it is, okay? And what will help you to win that is going to be what percentage of your body fat you lost, what percentage of your current muscle did you gain, what percentage did you improve on the fitness test, which you're going to take today and I'll talk about, and your average rise points per day. So doesn't matter. So you got to remember this, that because I am so focused on habits, so I'm just talking about this piece right here, I am so focused on habits, the person who is the most consistent through the entire 90 days is going to get the most points, because I'm going to do it as an average per day. So let's just say you came out guns a-blazing for the first 4 weeks of this challenge. Got every single point that was possibly available out there, but then you faded off towards the end, and somebody else started at maybe a 75%, 70%, but they maintained that through the entire 12 weeks, through the entire 90 days. They're going to outpoint you because I'm going to do it on average, not by total points, right? So that's important. Any questions about these things? I'll talk about you should already know how you're going to measure these based on the emails that I've been sending. Questions? All right, so everybody take out, if you don't have your phone on you, grab it real quick. If you can't grab it, maybe share it, look over someone else's shoulder. I can't grab mine. I meant to use mine. No, it's okay. So the reason why I'm pointing this out, one, I want you all to confirm that you have signed up for. So open up your Watify Rise app. So everybody, if you've been following my emails, except for we just talked, so But if you signed up for Watify Rise, you should already be logged into this challenge, and I want you to open up that challenge, and then I want you to click the little silhouette shape on the bottom. So I think it's on the bottom right. Yeah, down there in the bottom right there, and it's going to pull up all the different habits that are going to happen during this challenge. So first of all, is anybody not able to find that piece? Not able to open Watify Rise or see the profile? So at the top left, you can switch. There's these two arrows that go each direction, and you can switch to the new challenge. Okay, so these are all the daily, bi-weekly, monthly habits that are going to happen during this challenge. So, and I want you to know that even though I'm going to explain these in some detail today, you can click on each one of those and it'll open it up and it'll talk a little bit more about that particular habit. It might give you some guidance, it might give you some resources, all of that stuff on there. But all of these habits are going to be ones that I want you thinking about either on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. So what's I meant to be able to look at my phone. I didn't think about the videotaping. So what's the very top one on there?
Food journaling.
Food journaling. Okay, so you will every single day, so based on the feedback of the last holiday hack, we tried, you remember everybody was taking their photos and stuff if you were in the holiday hack. So every single day, everything you eat, I want you to take a quick photo of it, and you're going to enter it into Watify Rise. It'll be real fast and easy. It's simple. What I don't want you to do is to put all the food that you plan to eat for that entire day and then take a picture of it, because that's good planning and preparation, knowing that you have all that food ready. But as we all know, and I do this all the time, I'll pack a lunch in my backpack planning to eat it, and then I get busy and I don't end up eating it, or it spilled all inside my backpack and I didn't get a chance, whatever happens. So I only want you to take a photo right before you're going to eat that meal and then enter it into Watify Rise. The other thing it's going to ask you at the end of the day as you're trying to complete that task is, how many healthy meals did you eat for that day? Those healthy meals are going to be I'm going to be sending you an additional survey that you'll tell me about, some things about you demographically, so I can plug some things into my system, but it'll also tell me about your goals, how do you prefer to eat, all those different things. And then I will give you a guide, a nutritional guide, and it will tell you how many carbohydrates, how much fat, how much protein, how much veggies, all those things I want you to eat on a daily basis. And I'm just going to go to this next screen. In the report, it'll look something like this, right? It'll give you, if you're a person who likes to track your grams, your calories and all that stuff through something like MyFitnessPal or something like that, I will support you in that. I personally, that drives me crazy. I don't want to track all that stuff. But for some people, it's completely the way of moving forward. So it will have grams for your proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, okay? It will also give you a version of, so I call it the hand measurements, right? So I like this. I can look at my plate and I can say, my hand, based on my body and my bone structure and all that other stuff, how much protein, how many hand palm size of protein, or how many fist size of veggies, or how many cupped hands of carbohydrates, or how many thumb sizes of fats, healthy fats, right? So it'll tell you either one of those. So you're gonna, and then there'll be, in that same report, there will be this thing. It's called a daily portion tracking sheet. What I highly recommend to each of you guys is to print out, print out 7 for that week, or print out a whole bunch of just that page, that each day you can go through and mark off how many palm size, because on here, this is specific to a person who I copied. This isn't going to be what yours exactly look like. Yours might say 9 per day of a palm-sized protein or vegetables. But it'll give you the opportunity, it'll have a circle for each one to track that number of portions for you. So the only reason why it's important, what I'm talking about now for your nutrition, because for the 3, 2, and 1 healthy meals, it's not like that one meal had to have everything in it at the one time. But over the course of a day, you're going to accumulate a certain type of macronutrients, and the math will work out. So if you did your total per day, 7, in this case, this person was 7 palms of protein, 4 to 6 fist sizes of veggies, 3 cup handfuls of carbs, which I'll talk about that in a second, and 2 thumbs of fat, then that accumulated to 3 healthy meals. They may have done that in 8 different settings, potentially. They may have done it, none of them all at the same time, but that would get their 3 healthy meals for the day. Now, if they did less than that, okay, you guys just do the math. You're going to break this into thirds. So, if they did less, but more than, I think it's 4 servings here, then they had enough protein for 2, and you're just going to break it all into thirds. So if it was more than 2/3 of that number for you, then you got enough for 2 healthy meals. And then obviously it was in the bottom third or less, you got enough for 1 healthy meal. It sounds a little complex right now, but just trust me, as you start doing this actually, practically, it will make a lot of sense. So that's how you will get those points, and you will be rewarded through the points-based system for eating more healthy meals throughout your day. Okay. There will be a whole lot more coming about nutrition. I'm not going to slam you with everything right now, but just know those are the basics of the point system. So any questions about that? Yes?
So if we do all of our donuts and some more, how does that affect your score?
So that's a great question. I'm glad you asked it. Do not go over. So you would then
how would you not?
yeah, so here's the deal on that. You ate your 3 healthy meals, so you will get your points for that. So I'm not going to try and figure out some sort of I'm not into punishing adults, right? So there's not going to be like a punishing for eating over. However, you will not get your results. Promise you. Whatever you tell me in that survey, what your goal was, whether it was weight loss or weight gain or whatever, you're not going to hit your results accurately by going above and beyond on this. So eat this number and this number only each day, and I promise I can't say I promise, you will be very highly likely to achieve the goal that you set out to do. I'm not going to punish you for going above and beyond. If you're hungry, eat. I am not interested in people starving themselves to death during this particular program, okay? But eat knowing that it might be at the compromise of your goals, and you just have to be okay with that. Other question about it? That's a great question. Cool. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. There's a sugar goal. There's a sugar goal. It's going to ask you. You're going to have to read your labels. Okay, and there's going to be a certain number of grams to get a certain number of points within a certain range. And there's 3 different levels. I highly recommend that you reduce refined sugars out of your diet as much as possible, and you will be rewarded for doing that during this challenge. And this list here, by the way, you're going to get this slide deck. You don't need to memorize this or take a photo of it. I'm going to send you the slide deck, but I would print it out and keep it with you somehow, somewhere. So that all of these things are the ways that food production, people who make food, call sugar. It's not going to just say sugar on there. It might say barley malt, right? Which sounds nothing like sugar, but it's sugar. Okay? So it might be called galactose. So I want you to review this. Here's the other piece that I can mostly try to, if you make all your own food in your own kitchen, or if you purchase it from a source that you highly trust, then you don't have to worry about this goal, because you know what you're putting in your food and you know that it was made from a good source. It's food manufacturers that put all this crazy stuff in there, and they put it in everything. You might be eating a hot dog, right? Which doesn't, I mean, whether you like hot dogs or not, doesn't really matter, but there's probably sugar in it, which you would never think so. So you got to check all your labels. Okay. So so in that list, so in the effort of trying to honor that time that I'm talking about, going down that list, there's information in there on a daily basis. I will put more information out about every single daily habit. I'm not trying to bury you in all of the details of everything right now. Most of it's kind of common sense. But I will send out information each day over this next week in detail about each habit. So you're getting in like a digestible amount. But if you want to read more, just kind of click through and read those in your app now. So there are a couple different points. You'll notice that there's different point scales for every single thing. It'll be very clear in your application. There are a couple, it says weekly tasks, but I should have relabeled that, because in Precision Nutrition, which is the nutrition program that I'm going to have you following, there'll be daily lessons every single day coming through that platform, which will be very, very, very helpful to you. It will ask you over a weekend to either put in body circumference measurements with a tape measure, or it will ask you to enter in progress photos. Okay, so it will only ask you not this weekend obviously, but next weekend, it's going to ask you for your first set, right? So that's when you will enter on that Monday in Rise. It'll ask you on Mondays and Mondays only whether you did your measurements or your photos or not. So this next coming Monday, not tomorrow, but the one after that, you will have the opportunity to say yes if you actually entered them into Precision Nutrition. But because of how Rise is, it will keep asking you every single Monday whether you did them or not. The only time you should say yes is if Precision Nutrition asked you for them and you entered them into Precision Nutrition. So don't say yes every Monday by default because it just showed up in Wodify Rise. It's only if you were asked and you put them into Precision Nutrition platform. Okay. So, and it will only ask you for progress photos once a month. That's a monthly task actually. And it will ask you for body circumference measurements every other week. So every 2 weeks, it'll ask you for that. Okay, so, I might make it. Okay, so in getting started, there were some administrative tasks that I needed you to do. So I'm just going to kind of go through a couple of those just to make sure we're on course. And if you know that you have some outstanding things, really ideally we need to get them done today so we can have you started and ready to go by tomorrow. So if you were able to look at Wodify Rise and all these habits, you covered this first one. But if you weren't, for whatever reason, you didn't know you had to sign up for Wodify Rise or anything like that, that's important because that's the point tracking system. If you are, if there's another one that's not up there, if you haven't filled out your Precision Nutrition intake and you're new to Precision Nutrition, you need to fill that out. If you've done a past challenge with us where we used Precision Nutrition, you are covered on the intake. It will start back up. I've already reactivated you most likely. It will start back up on the day that you left off on. So if I close down your account in there on a Wednesday, it'll pick back up on a Thursday. Just so you know. And it'll pick up where you left off. I will also be sending everybody a specific nutrition survey. Like I said, I can't create your plans unless I know a little bit more information. So you'll expect that. That'll probably come this week sometime, early this week sometime. Okay, if you are new to CrossFit, if you've not CrossFit before or you haven't CrossFit in a long time, it's for my new folks, you have to complete 3 foundations classes with us. That's how we teach you how to move properly. We get to learn what's going on with your body. We make sure that you have a full understanding of all the different types of movements that we incorporate here, and it gets you the best start. So you need to complete those as quickly as possible. We'll connect you with a trainer who will schedule one-on-one or one-on-two or very small group times with you guys. Ideally, we'd get a few of you guys together. Okay, if you plan to be in the winning, this is not mandatory. I'm almost done. If this is still probably the fastest I've ever done this. So if you want to be in the winning for the whole thing, or if you want to make sure you're measuring your body composition, you got to do that body scan by the 16th of January. So I'm giving you some time. There's, you can do it. They'll come here a couple times in that time. They'll also be all over the place in Austin if you don't mind driving in there, but get that body scan done. You do not need to send that first one to me because they'll record it for the second time. So you'll get one in the beginning and then one at the end. Just send me the one at the very end. It'll have it all. And then you guys are going to do your baseline fitness test. If for whatever reason you cannot, will not, do not want to do your fitness test today, we still want you to do it as soon as possible, let's say by the end of this week. So, okay. So what is the fitness test? I've changed it. If you've done it before, I'm changing it slightly, and there's a reason. I want to do one iteration. I want to get you guys all done in one heat of people. And so I've changed this up a little bit. So you're going to have 12 minutes. And in 12 minutes, you're going to work through these things as many times as possible. Almost all you guys are getting through it at least once. Some of you may get into the third round, but it's going to be a 400-meter run. And that's going to be done in 10-meter increments. So I have cones out there, I think. Did someone take my cone? They blew away. Okay, I'll reset it. Okay, well, we'll make sure it's good. So that's 40 down and backs. Okay, don't worry. It sounds way more awful than it actually is. You're just going to get it done, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a classic. A shuttle run is a classic aerobic capacity test, like the 20-meter beep test and those things. This is like what a lot of high-level strength conditioning coaches uses for endurance tests. So shuttle 40 times. Then you're going to come in, you're going to do 40 squats to a medicine ball, meaning your butt is going to touch a medicine ball, and you'll stand all the way up. You'll do 30 ab mat sit-ups, where you touch your toe each time you sit up on your sit-ups. You'll do 20 hand release push-ups. I'll demonstrate all of this, by the way. You will know how to do them. And then you'll do 10 pull-ups if you have the ability to do body weight pull-ups, or you'll do 10 ring rows, okay, as a substitute for that. Again, if you have any issues with your body, like an injury or anything like that, we will make sure that you do some version of this that is healthy for your body, will not cause pain, and you'll get it done. And we'll just want to retest the same exact thing. 1 round equals 140 reps. What we're going to track is reps. How many reps did you get done for this fitness test? Okay. So based on all of those things, this is like anything I talked about today. Just, do you have any questions about challenge, expectation, the fitness test, nutrition, any of that stuff?
So
yeah.
We finished up the holiday hack on Friday. Get this done by the...
Well, no, okay, so thank you for asking that. If you just did the holiday hack and you've already done your fitness retest, then you're covered. We will use that same one as your baseline for the next one. So you don't have to do both. Now, if you did the holiday hack and you haven't done it and you're here today to do a fitness test, I want you to do the version of the holiday hack, and so that included a row. So you'll do the 500-meter row, that version of it, as a retest for your holiday hack, and that will be your baseline for this one. So.
And then on the end of the 90-day, are we going to do the row again? Because the other one was 150, and this is 140.
You'll retest the same exact one. Whatever one you're using as your baseline for this one, you'll retest that same exact one. Yeah, good questions. What else? Any other questions? Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to stop recording. All right.